Now, a manual for time travelers who can't time travel, Part Y. The illusion of else-when, why you're obsessed with every time. But now, Chapter 1. Welcome, chronically misplaced traveler. Prompt. What time do you live in most often? You've been time hopping again, haven't you? One moment you're brushing your teeth. The next, you're emotionally rewatching that weird argument you had with a classmate in 2009 about whether Pluto counts as a planet. Spoiler, it doesn't matter. It never mattered. But tell that to your brain, which, like an amateur time tourist with no GPS, keeps flinging itself backward and forward like it's late for everything except this exact second. Well, welcome. You've just arrived in the only moment you actually can arrive in now. Take off your metaphorical jetpack, shake the glitter of past disappointments from your boots, and unplug that malfunctioning mental flux capacitor. Because here's the twist, no one tells the would-be time travelers there's nowhere else to go. You, dear reader, are stuck in the one time period that has no fan club, no movies, no fantasy novels, and definitely no get-rich-quick schemes attached to it. The present moment. Cue disappointed silence. Yes, it's wildly underwhelming. There are no hoverboards, no do-overs, no neon-lit futures or sepia-toned memories to escape into. Just your lungs, your heartbeat. The sound of that fridge humming in the background like it's contemplating its existence too. Congratulations, you made it too now. Now before you pretend to be too cool for this, I see you, future-focused Fiona, gripping your planner like a talisman. Let's address the cosmic elephant in the room. You want to time travel. We all do. If there were a GoFundMe to build a regret-proof DeLorean or a worry-free wormhole, we'd all chip in. Why? Because your brain is convinced that your life exists in another timeline. The one where you didn't say that dumb thing. The one where you got the promotion. The one where you didn't eat the entire cake and text your ex. The one where you finally figured it all out. In short, you are a chronically misplaced traveler, emotionally jet-lagged, philosophically delayed. And you know what? You're not alone. Meet your fellow time-warped travelers. Rewind Ralph lives permanently in 2007. He still owns a pair of low-rise jeans and believes Coldplay peaked at Viva La Vida. Ralph checks his ex's Instagram twice a day. She has a golden retriever now, and still wonders what would have happened if he hadn't missed that job interview. Spoiler, probably a very boring meeting and marginally better coffee. Future-focused. Fiona has already planned her funeral, her grandkids' university fund, and what AI will say at her TED Talk, despite the fact she forgot to eat breakfast. Fiona owns 17 journals, 12 productivity apps, and an emotional ulcer. So nostalgia. Ned lives in a curated museum of better times that never actually existed. He thinks VHS tapes had soul and believes music died with cassette mixtapes. He also writes letters to his exes on a typewriter while listening to lo-fi rain sounds. And then there's you. You, dear reader, are the present pirate. You've stolen moments from every timeline except the one that matters. You've looted memories, hijacked hypotheticals, and buried treasure somewhere in a land called When Things Calm Down. You've mastered time travel. The bad kind. But let's be honest, time travel is exhausting. You go backward to analyze, regret, reframe, replay. You go forward to plan, panic, fantasize, catastrophize. Meanwhile, the now, the soft, simple, awkward now, sits in the corner like a wallflower, waving gently while you ghost it for every other version of yourself. The past is seductive. It's got closure you didn't get. The future is thrilling. It's got potential you haven't ruined yet. But the present, it just is. No theme music, no climax, no plot twist. Just your socks, the sun, your breath, and possibly a lukewarm cup of tea, which is exactly why it's the most powerful place in the universe. The cosmic joke is the joke. You keep trying to escape the only moment that can change anything. The future is a guess. The past is a story. But the present is a control panel. It's where you exist. It's where choice lives. It's where reality happens, whether you like it or not. The present moment is the only moment that isn't pretending to be something else. And you, hilarious, scattered, lovable you, keep looking for it under the couch cushions of your mind like you misplaced it. Side note for overachievers. If you're reading this and already trying to optimize your present, please stop. This isn't another way to become a productivity cyborg. The point of now is not to monetize your breath. You don't have to build a brand around your inner peace. Just feel it. The weird, unfiltered, uncategorized aliveness of being here. Even if it's boring, especially if it's boring. Time machine maintenance tip number 1. Your mind will try to leave again. It's not broken. It's just rude. When it bolts, don't chase it. Don't yell at it. Just notice. Oh, look, my brain's in 2014 again. That was fast. Off. Return. Gentle prompt. What time do you live in most often? Write it down. No shame, just curiosity. Then, just once today, try to fully live in something simple. Brushing your teeth. Eating a grape. Breathing in a breeze. That's all time travel ever really was. Awareness. Final thought. You've arrived, traveler. No boarding pass, no flux capacitor, no version of you that has to be better first. You're here. The only timeline that's not trying to sell you something. Welcome to now. Stay as long as you like. Chapter 2. The time machine in your head. Prompt. Identify how your mind travels, replaying or pre-playing. Let's talk about your head. Not your haircut, although it's working. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But the high-tech, unregulated, hyperactive time machine inside your skull. Oh yes, you have one. It doesn't hum or glow or require plutonium, but it runs 24/7 on memories, fears, should-have-saids, and that one imaginary argument you've had 47 times with Carol from accounting, who, for the record, still doesn't know she's in it. You, my friend, are the proud owner of a mental TARDIS, minus the blue police box, British accent, or any semblance of adult supervision. This machine doesn't ask your permission. It just goes, 1 second you're washing dishes, the next you're 13 again, staring into the void of a cafeteria while someone calls you gravy shirt. You didn't ask to go back. It just happened. Welcome aboard. Alternatively, you're walking to the bus stop, and suddenly you're mentally pitching your Netflix special at an awards gala in 2031, wearing sequins and quoting yourself. Again, no button pushed. Just spontaneous pre-playing. Replaying versus pre-playing. These are the two favorite settings on your brain's time machine. Replaying, also known as memory theater, regret edition. It's a gripping show, usually performed in your shower, where your mistakes are rewatched like Oscar-worthy tragedies. You say things like, "Ugh, why did I say that? What if I'd done it differently? Maybe if I hadn't, maybe then." This setting is powered by shame, nostalgia, and the burning human desire to edit history, even though we still can't format a Word document without Googling it. Replaying is your brain trying to rewrite the script, as if mental time travel can lead to emotional absolution. It can't, but your brain loves a pointless project. Chapter 2. Pre-playing, also known as anxiety theater, the sequel. Pre-playing is your inner Spielberg hard at work, directing disaster scenes, casting worst-case scenarios, storyboarding your failure in 4K Ultrafear. You say things like, "What if this goes wrong? I need to plan every detail. If I mess this up, I'll die. Or worse, be embarrassed." Pre-playing convinces you that by imagining everything that could go wrong, you'll somehow prevent it. Spoiler, you won't. You'll just get a headache. The mind is a magician and a liar. Your brain is stunning, brilliant, evolutionary wizardry. It keeps you alive. It processes light and turns it into vision. It keeps your heart beating without sending you email reminders. But it also has a glitch. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. That means when you replay that breakup, your nervous system relives it. When you pre-play that meeting you think you'll bomb, your body goes into actual stress. You time travel, and your body pays the fare. Side quest. Meet your time machine settings. Menu. Here's what the time machine in your head really looks like. Setting description. Fuel source. Rewind mode. Replaying old scenes, mostly painful. Guilt, should've source. Fast forward mode. Catastrophic forecasting caffeine, plus crippling expectations. Hypothetical simulations. Imagining conversations with people who may not exist. Mild ego panic highlight. Real, selective nostalgia, starring young you. Edited memories, plus 90s soundtrack. Doomsday, prepper mode. Planning your apocalypse. Twitter threads. You don't choose these. They run in the background like apps you forgot to close. But here's the catch. You can't turn the time machine off. We've tried. Meditation, medication, interpretive dance. None of it breaks the circuit. But you can stop believing every destination it takes you to. Real talk, you're not broken. You're just unsupervised. It's not your fault. Your brain evolved to time travel because survival used to depend on it. The humans who could remember which berries killed Uncle Dave and who could predict when winter was coming. They lived. The present moment, historically, was dangerous. So our minds learned to scan the past for threats and scan the future for patterns. That was fine when we were out running wolves. It's less helpful when we're trying to send an email, find our keys, or relax for 5 seconds without spiraling. Imagine this. You're trying to enjoy a cup of tea, and your brain says, "Remember that one time in 2011? What if your boss secretly hates you? You should be doing more, right now, always." You blink, and the tea is cold. The moment has left the building. The now has been ghosted. Again, what can you do? Not much. Sorry. No miracle cure, but here's what you can do. Notice the travel. Oh, there I go, replaying again. Oh, I'm pre-playing next Tuesday's catastrophe. That's it. Awareness alone slows the engine. 2. Name the trip. Give it a title. Return to the Office of Shame. Or Fast Forward to Failure, the musical. After kills drama. 3. Come back. To your breath, your body, your tea, the sound of birds or construction workers yelling at invisible things. Not because it's thrilling, but because it's real. Footnote for the overthinkers. Yes, some future planning is useful. Yes, reflecting on your past can build insight. But if you spend all your mental air miles on everywhere but here, eventually you'll run out of actual life to live. Gentle prompt. Identify how your mind travels. Are you a chronic replayer, pre-player, or both? What's your most common destination? Write it down. Name the loop. Then, take 5 slow breaths while looking at something ordinary. Don't fix it. Don't judge it. Just return again and again and again. Because that's what real-time travel is. Not escaping this moment, but re-entering it. One ridiculous, miraculous breath at a time. Chapter 3. Why the past has a better PR team prompt. What are you idealizing that never was perfect? Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Your past is lying to you. Not maliciously, mind you. More like a slick marketer with a great Instagram filter and an even better soundtrack. Remember that summer you keep romanticizing? The one with the sunsets and mixtapes and simpler times? Yeah, that summer also had mosquitoes, arguments about whose turn it was to wash the dishes, and that one regrettable haircut you swore was a personality. But your brain doesn't remember those bits, does it? Because your past has a PR team, and it's really good at its job. Nostalgia, the original influencer. Nostalgia isn't just remembering, it's curating. Like a museum exhibit designed by your subconscious with soft lighting, emotionally manipulative music, and absolutely no bathrooms. It removes the mess and amplifies the magic. You think, things were better back then. But what you mean is, things feel safer in hindsight because I survived them. This is not the same thing. But your internal marketing team, aka your brain's limbic system, memory network, and inner drama queen, edits out the discomfort and plays only the highlight reel. That ex who used to write you notes. Never mind the jealousy and emotional coldness they wrote in cursive. That job you left? Sure, it drained your soul like a corporate vampire, but remember the snack room? And that year before everything went wrong? You were also deeply insecure. But hey, you wore skinny jeans with confidence. Your brain, master of selective storytelling. Here's how it works. Your brain doesn't record reality like a camcorder. It builds stories like a bored novelist on a deadline. When you look back, you're not seeing the truth. You're reading the abridged fantasy edition, edited by nostalgia, co-authored by longing, and fact-checked by nobody. This is why you can miss people who were terrible for you. Why you can crave the good old days that on closer inspection were kind of a dumpster fire with a nice sky. It's why Rewind Ralph still plays Yellow by Coldplay and stares into the void like he lost a war. Spoiler, Ralph peaked emotionally in 2007. He doesn't know that his simpler time was also when he cried in a KFC parking lot over someone named Tara. The past got a makeover. Let's be clear, it's not that your memories are wrong. It's that they've been sanitized for emotional clarity. Like reruns of your favorite sitcom where all the characters had jobs, apartments, and friendships no one could afford in real life. Your past didn't have a script. It had awkward silences, long queues, creaky mattresses, regretful texts, and a general sense of, what am I even doing? In other words, it was just like now. But now you've cropped the chaos out and slapped a vintage filter on it. Recipe for a false memory. Let's make one together. Ingredients: 2 parts actual memory, 1 part music from the era, 3 tablespoons of that one time it felt perfect, a dash of unresolved emotion. Optional: photos where you looked thinner. Instructions: 1. Blend until smooth. 2. Erase all the stuff that hurt. 3. Serve warm with a side of longing. Voila! A past you can mourn and glorify without remembering the actual texture of it. Why this matters? Because the more idealized your past becomes, the harder it is to respect your present. You start comparing this flawed, awkward, beautiful now with a fantasy version of then, and the now always loses. You think, if only I could go back. But what you're really saying is, I wish things felt easier again, even if they never were. Here's the twist. The past you miss wasn't perfect. You were just less aware, more distracted, less critical, maybe even a little more alive, because you hadn't decided it was the good old days yet. Danger. Emotional time loops. When you glamorize the past, you risk getting stuck in what I call the sweet spot spiral. 1. Remember a perfect moment. 2. Decide everything since then has been worse. 3. Chase the memory. 4. Fail. 5. Repeat. It's nostalgia as a narcotic. And while yes, it's emotionally soothing, it's also profoundly unfair to your current self. Because this version of you is doing something none of those past versions ever could. Living right now. Sidebar. The 90s were not that great. Let's settle this once and for all. The 90s were not a golden age. Yes, you had a Tamagotchi and knew all the lyrics to Waterfalls, but also dial-up internet, global recessions, fashion crimes, and literal cassette rewinding. Every decade is overrated in hindsight. Even this one will be the good old days someday. Which means you're in them. Act accordingly. Gentle prompt. What are you idealizing that never was perfect? Pick one memory you always run to when the present gets messy. Now write down 3 uncomfortable truths about that time. What was hard? What was confusing? What didn't make the highlight reel? Then ask, what's something beautiful in my present that I'm currently overlooking? If you can't find one, don't worry. The PR team hasn't packaged it yet, but it's there. Raw, honest, and more real than any rerun your mind can conjure. Final thought. The past had better music. The future has better tech. But only the present lets you dance. And you don't need to look back to feel alive. You just need to look around.